Hello everyone, welcome you all to today's class. Today's topic is multiplication of matrices. And earlier we have studied how to add or subtract two matrices. It means adding one matrix with another matrix, subtracting one matrix from another matrix, and also we have studied how to multiply any number with a matrix. Right? So we are going to study how to multiply two matrices and the criteria, condition of matrix multiplication, and also the procedure of getting the product matrix. Okay, so let me take you to the class. Yes, so yes, so coming to our topic, matrix multiplication. First of all, I will tell you what is the condition. Yeah, when the product of two matrices can be defined. What is the condition of multiplying two matrices? Just remind you of the fact, whenever we add two matrices, we know two matrices of same order can be added. Similarly, whenever we subtract one matrix from another matrix, it means the matrices should be of same order. But in this case, whenever we try to multiply one matrix with another matrix, what is the condition? The condition is product of two matrices is possible only when the number of columns of the first matrix is equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. Okay, I'm repeating. The number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix. It means, mathematically speaking, so here you can see if A is a matrix of order m by n and B is another matrix of order n by p. Here you can see number of columns of the first matrix equal to number of rows of the second matrix. So in this case, product of two matrices A and B, A into B is defined, and the product matrix will be of order m by p. So it means when you multiply a 2 by 3 matrix with another 3 by 2 matrix, the product will be of order 2 by 2 matrix. Right? Now, here the question is, why this is the criteria? Okay. Is it like something to be done with the procedure of the multiplication? So let me tell you what is the process of multiplication of two matrices and why number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix. Why this condition is given to us? Okay, so here I have taken a matrix. So here you can see, yes, this is a 3 by 2 matrix. So number of columns 2, and I have taken B matrix. Here you can see it is a 2 by 2 matrix. Now number of columns of first matrix equal to number of rows of the second matrix. Now when I multiply A and B, to get A into B, so what should be the procedure? Okay, so here what we do, we consider rows from the first matrix, columns from the second matrix. It means here you can see 3 by 2, this is 2 by 2. So as per the definition, we should get a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, then how to get it? So I'm writing here like this, R1, C1. This is the position of first row, first column, A11, right? Position of that. Then I can write here R1, C2. I'm telling you what is this, R1, C2. Okay, so R1, C1, then R1, C2. Okay, then we can write here R2C1, R2C2. We have 3 rows here, R3C1, R3C2. So it means whenever we write R1C1, okay, let me consider this one. R1C1 means what? It means it is the sum of the products of corresponding elements of R1 of first matrix and C1 of second matrix. It means always we consider rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. Okay, so whenever we write R1 C1, it means we consider like first row of the first matrix, then first column of the second matrix. So that means sum of the products of corresponding elements of R1 and C1, which will be, so it means in this case, it will be what? A11, B11 plus A12, B21. Okay, this is the element of first row and first column of the product matrix. Then next you can see R1, C2. Means we can take R1, then C2. Okay, so from the first matrix, we are considering R1. From second matrix, we are taking second column. So it means it should be like this: A11, B12 plus A12 into B22. Right? That we do not have any third element in first row of the first matrix. So we have to stop here. Next, we will go to second row. Again here, second row, first column, R2C1. Okay, so A21 into B11 plus A22 into B21. Again R2C2. A21 B12 plus A22 into B22. Now R3C1 similarly, third row. So let me write it. Okay, A31 B11. Okay, plus A32 into B21. Then R3C2. So A31 into B12 plus A32 into B22. So this is the procedure. Okay, so I will be showing one Excel document for which I have prepared just to visualize how the multiplication of two matrices happen before we go to the questions or properties. So is it clear? Whenever we write R1 C1, it means sum of the products of corresponding elements of R1 of first matrix and C1 of the second matrix. Similarly, other terms, other entries we can find out. Okay, now here, is it clear now why number of columns of the first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix? Is it clear? Because we are considering we are taking the rows of the first matrix, columns of the second matrix. So it means in any row of the first matrix, the number of elements here should be equal to the number of elements in each column of the second matrix. So when we say number of elements in each row of the first matrix, so if each row of the first matrix contains 2 elements, it means number of columns is 2 here. Similarly, when we talk about second matrix, number of elements in any column means that is equal to number of rows of second matrix. So here we should have equal number of elements. It means in each row of the first matrix, number of elements in each row of the first matrix should be equal to number of elements in each column of the second matrix. That is the reason the condition of multiplication of two matrices can be defined when number of columns of the first matrix equal to number of rows of the second matrix. Is the concept clear? Okay, so before we come to any other thing, just I want to show you the process through one Excel document. You can visualize multiplication of two matrices. Okay, so here you see I have taken a 3 by 3 matrix. Yeah, so this is 3 by 3 matrix. Here again 3 by 3 matrix. You see the product. Okay, now let me click any element of the product matrix. Whenever I am clicking here 21, how am I getting 21? So here you see first matrix and this is second matrix. So elements of the first row of the first matrix and this is elements of first column of the second matrix. You can see 1 into 5 plus minus 2 into 2 minus 2 plus 3 into 4. 1 into 5, 5, minus 2 into minus 2, 4, 3 into 4, 12. So you can take sum of the products, that is 21. Okay, let me take this one, R1C2, right? 1, 2, I mean element of first row and second column of the product matrix. You can see here what we need to take. First row from the first matrix, second column from the second matrix. Okay, then we can take sum of the products. Okay, then first row, third column, element of the product matrix. You can see, again you see first row and third column. Is it clear? Here you can see second row, first column of the product matrix. You can say we are considering second row, elements of second row of the first matrix and first column of the second matrix. Okay, and we are considering sum of the products. Got it? Now 2, 2, here you can see, and 2, 3, got it? Now third row, first column of the product matrix. We are taking third row from the first matrix and first column from the second matrix. Again you see 3, 2. So I'm sure it is very, very clear to you. The procedure is very, very clear. Okay, so it means only thing is required, you need to practice so that you will not make any mistake. Is it clear? Okay, so let us go back to the concept part. So this is all about how to multiply two matrices. Okay, so if you want me to take a simple example, maybe I can take it here. Okay, so I can take, suppose we have, I can take small example, 1 minus 2, 2, 3. I'm taking this example from NCERT textbook. Okay, compute the product. Here 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so first of all, we have to check whether the multiplication, I mean product of two matrices is defined or not. Here you see 2 by 2 matrix and this is 2 by 3 matrix. So it means first thing you have to see number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix. It's done. It means we can multiply the two matrices. Okay, then next step is the process. So while taking the process here, okay, so we have to consider R1, C1, okay, 1, 1. So 1 into 1, 1 plus minus 2 into 2 minus 4. Okay, this is your R1, C1. Okay, then 1, 2 means first row from the first matrix. Always we take row from the first matrix, column from the second matrix. Okay, then here it is R1, C2, 1 into 2, 2. Okay, then minus 2 into 3, minus 6. R1, C2. Then 1 into 3, minus 2 into 1. Okay, R1, C3. Then the first row is over now. Then we can come to the second row. The second row, first column, 2 into 1, 2. Then 3 into 2, 6. Sum of the products, then it is 4 plus 6. Okay, then 6, 2 into 3, 3 into 1. Okay, like this. So R1, C1, R1, C2, R1, C3, R2, C1, R2, C2, R2, C3. So to cross check 2 by 2 matrix multiplied with 2 by 3 matrix. Product should be of order 2 by 3. Okay, so it means we are getting the product matrix as it is minus 3, minus 4, then 1, 8, 10, 9. Okay, this is the product matrix we are getting. So I'm sure so you understood this. Now here, before we go to other questions, so let us understand the basic, I mean you can say properties associated with product of two matrices. Okay, so first one is, yeah, so whenever we say A into B is defined, product of A and B defined, always we have to see number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix. Suppose AB is defined. Okay, so the next thing is, if AB is defined, is BA defined? So let us take an example. So if I write here, A is a matrix of order 2 by 3. Okay, I am writing like this, Aij 2 by 3. Suppose I write here, it is Bjk order 3 by 2. Okay, so in this case, AB will be what? 2 by 3, 3 by 2. Product matrix may be Cik. Okay, order will be 2 by 2. Okay, now if I write 2 by 3 by 2, then 2 by 3, here you can say BA. It will be, let it be like B, yeah, JK, and here it is, yeah, so you are writing B, JK, 3 by 2 matrix, 2 by 3 matrix. So whatever you are writing here, so this order of this matrix, I may write here JK this. So if I write here maybe NP or something, IJ, which will equal. Okay, so you can have 3 by 3. So here it is defined, right? But if I write here 2 by 3, I'm writing here A is a matrix order 2 by 3. Okay, B is a matrix of order 3 by 3, suppose. Now product matrix will be of order what? 2 by 3, 3 by 3, so 2 by 3. If I go BA, now B matrix is of order 3 by 3. A is of order what? 2 by 3. So here you see number of columns of first matrix 3, number of rows of second matrix 2. So it means you will not be getting equal number of elements in rows of the first matrix and columns of the second matrix. That is the reason here BA is not defined. Okay, so it is not necessary if AB is defined, BA will be defined. So that is the first point we can see. If AB is defined, then BA need not be always defined. Second thing is, if you are getting square matrices, A and B are two square matrices of same order. 2 by 2, 3 by 3 you can take, So obviously AB and BA will be defined. Okay, and so what we can see here, yeah, so AB and BA defined. Now next thing is, unlike your real number system, when we take multiplication is commutative. Here let us check whether matrix multiplication is commutative or not. Okay, in first case I told you, when AB defined, not necessarily BA will be defined. So in that case, AB will not be equal to BA. When BA is not defined, how can you make it equal to AB? First thing. Even if it is defined, I'll take one question also. So it is not necessary AB will always be equal to BA. It may or may not be. So it means in general, AB not equal to BA. So it means you can say matrix multiplication is not commutative. Okay, it is not commutative, not always. So we can conclude matrix multiplication is not commutative. Second thing is, whenever we take two numbers, it means whenever we take AB equal to 0, okay, in case of number system, if A into B equal to 0, then we take either A 0 or B 0 or both 0. But in case of matrix, that is not always true. That means product matrix is 0 doesn't mean that one of the two matrices will be zeros. Okay, so it means if the product of two matrices is a zero matrix, it is not necessary that one of them is a zero matrix. So now I'm going to take one example also. Okay, so just, okay, it's a very interesting fact. Okay, third property is A into I. I stands for identity matrix. A into identity matrix equal to I into A, that is equal to A. So this I matrix, as you know, identity matrix should always be a square matrix. So it means you may take I2 or I3. Identity matrix of order 2 by 2 or 3 by 3. So in that case, A will be either 2 by 2 matrix or 3 by 2 matrix. Okay. So whenever you multiply AI, so you are getting A matrix. So it means whenever you multiply identity matrix with any matrix, the matrix doesn't change. That is the reason this unit matrix is also called identity matrix. So it means I or identity matrix is basically multiplicative identity for the set of matrices. Okay, and also next property, A square. So here square of any matrix doesn't mean squaring of each element of the matrix. So whenever we say A square, it should be A into A. So it means A into A equal to A square. Similarly, if you want a cube here, it should be like A square into A. Or you may write here A into A square, right? Provided the matrix should be defined, multiplication should be defined, the product should be defined, right? And it will be defined, okay? So you have to check it. Okay, next, fifth and sixth. Yeah, so even if matrix multiplication is not always commutative, but it is always associative. So we can get some question from NCERT textbook also. We can do those questions. A into B into C. I mean, irrespective of any order in the grouping, we are getting the same result. So this also we will take some questions. And sixth one is matrix multiplication is distributive over matrix addition. So A plus B into C equal to AC plus BC. And again, in each case, we have to see AC is defined, BC is defined. Okay, the condition here should be product of the matrices should be defined, right? So you cannot take A plus B and C randomly. We have to see whenever we say A plus B, it means A and B are of same order. Okay, and whenever we say A plus B into C, It means number of columns in A plus B should be equal to number of rows in C matrix. Okay, so product should be defined. So that, I mean, here we have to take. Okay, then yeah, so this is basically, these are some of the very important properties of matrices. Okay, so the process you are clear. So what I want to show you here, even if the matrices, they are not, I mean, even if the product is a zero matrix, so not necessarily one of the matrices will be zero. Okay, just let me take one example and show you here. Just taking from the, yeah. And also we can see when the matrix, I can take a question from 3.2 exercise. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you matrix multiplication is not commutative. So you can see, yeah. Okay, so you can see the question number 14, you can see NCERT textbook. Okay, let us take, we have A matrix is, I'm just taking 2 by 2 matrix, 5 minus 1, 5 minus 1, 6, 7. Okay, D matrix is 2, 1, 3, 4. 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so let us take what is A into B. So A into B, 5 minus 1, 6, 7 multiplied by 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so these two are square matrices of same order. So the product matrix will be 2 by 2 here, 5 into 2, 10, then minus 1 into 3, minus 3. Okay, 5 into 1, 5, minus 4, then 6 into 2, 12, 7 into 3, 21, 6 into 1, 6, plus 7 into 4, 28. Okay, so we have taken R1C1, R1C2, then R1C, R2C1, R2C2. Okay, so you are getting 7, 1, then here it is 33. Okay, and here it is 34. Now let us check B into A. So B into A is 2, 1, 3, 4 into 5 minus 1, 6, 7. Okay, so multiplication process we are familiar with. So here you see R1, C1. We will take some of the products of corresponding elements of first row of first matrix, first column of second matrix. So it is 10, then plus 6. Okay, similarly, minus 2 plus 7. Then 3 into 5, 15, 4 into 6, 24. Okay, then it is minus 3 plus 28. So in the beginning of the practice, you need to be very careful, then it will be a habit. So you are getting here 16, 5, then here it is 39. Okay, then here 25. Okay, so it means you can see clearly here AB not equal to BA. So basically here we need to see in some cases now AB may be equal to BA, but in some cases AB not equal to BA. So what we can conclude here, every time it is not necessary the product AB will be equal to BA. So our conclusion should be, like you can say, the multiplication of two matrices is not commutative. So in general, it is not commutative. Okay. Then next one is, I will take one more example. So even if the property which we have taken. Okay, so let me take here your A matrix is, you can say 0, minus 1, 0, 2. Okay. Now B matrix is 3, 5, 0, 0. So let us take A into B matrix and check it. 0 into 3, 0, minus 1 into 0, 0. Okay, R1C2 0 0. Okay, R2C1 0 0, R2C2 0 0. So it means you are getting 0 0 0 0, which is a zero matrix. So even if no A not equal to zero matrix, B not equal to zero matrix. Okay, but your AB matrix is a zero matrix. So it means even if you are multiplying two non-zero matrices, the product may be zero. Okay, it may not be zero, but it may be zero also. It means we cannot say if the product of two matrices is zero, so at least one of them is a zero matrix. So that logic is not valid here. Okay, so I'm clear here. All of you understood the concept. Why the condition of two matrices? I mean, while we multiply two matrices, why the condition is number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of the rows of the second matrix. Why this condition is there? Second thing is, what is the procedure of multiplying two matrices? Third thing is, even if no, we are multiplying two matrices, not necessarily we will be getting AB equal to BA. I mean, in general, matrix multiplication is not commutative, right? And matrix multiplication is associative, that we can check by taking any three matrices where product is defined. Okay, and distributive law also we can verify, right? And whenever we take identity matrix, of course that is a square matrix. You know what is identity matrix? So whenever we multiply identity matrix with any matrix A, so A into identity matrix equal to identity matrix into A, that is equal to A. And again we have to be sure the order should be taken properly so that product of two matrices should be defined. Okay, that is the basic, I mean, concept. It has to go through the whole topic. Whenever you take product of two matrices, make sure it is defined. Okay, otherwise you can't find out. If it is not defined, how can you find? Okay, and of course, A square, A cube, for all these things, A square means we are not squaring each and every element of the matrix. We are taking what? A square means multiplying A matrix 2 times. Okay, and A cube again like this. And one more thing, just I want to clarify before we wind up the class. Suppose, for example, I write here A equal to Aij. Order is suppose 2 by 3. If I take A square, so we can write here 2 by 3. Here also again 2 by 3 matrix. So in this case, if you take any rectangular matrix, no, you cannot take A square, right? So whenever you take A square, A cube like this, it has to be a square matrix. Okay, is it clear? So we cannot take any matrix to find A square, A cube. We cannot take any matrix. I mean, in case of rectangular matrix, A square won't be defined. So this is because of this reason. So when you write here 2 by 3 matrix, multiplying with another 2 by 3 matrix, you see number of columns 3, here number of rows 2. Okay, so you cannot find here A into A, it will not be defined. So it means while getting A square, A cube, in all these cases, A should be a square matrix. Okay, so that is one thing I just wanted to clarify. Okay, so let's wind up the class today. And in next class, and we can come up with some questions related to this concept. Thank you so much.